This is a must-have tool for every DIYer. So hey, what's going on guys? I'm Ryan, the random DIY guy, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Zenith by Danco line of trim pullers and pry bars. So I've used these guys a ton during my summer renovation, and I put a lot of hours on them. And I have to say, I really do think every DIYer should have them in their tool arsenal. They just are a really great demo tool for a ton of different applications. So what I'd like to do here is go through each one of them and talk about why I like it. So first up, let's take a look at their full-size trim puller. This one has to be my absolute favorite, just because as soon as I used it, I was like, dang, I should have just bought this sooner. I've been doing renovations for a while, and every time I remove trim, I'm either damaging the wall or breaking the trim. And this tool solves both problems. To use it, it's really simple. Go ahead and score the caulk just like normal, and then you go ahead and take your hammer, place it on top, and just hammer straight down. Give it a little bit of tilting action from side to side, work your way down the trim, and it pops right off without damaging the drywall or the trim, so you can even go back and reinstall that baseboard. And this is the case because of their self-prying technology. They have that little lip up there, so when you're hammering it down, it's kind of working it away from the wall, and their whole line uses this technology. So the main thing I use this one for is removing baseboards and reinstalling them. And again, this is the full-size trim puller. Now for our mini trim puller, it's just like our full-size trim puller, just smaller. I really found it works great on door casings, window casings, and the main reason for that is just kind of larger trim or baseboard, large trim puller, smaller trim or baseboard or casing baseboard, use the mini trim puller. Same process, score, hammer, rock, it comes off, pops off. Another thing I like to use it for was I was removing the transition strips between the hardwood and the tile, and you just hammer it under there, pulls it up. Great little demo tool. Again, this is our mini trim puller. One last thing I think I should mention about both of our trim pullers is that it will save you time and money. Again, due to that self-prying technology, you can go ahead and pull it off the wall and not damage either the wall or the trim, which is a huge deal, because when I'm using just an old-fashioned little pry bar and hammer, I'm damaging everything, and most of the time just end up having to buy new trim. That's not the case with these guys. You can go ahead, pull that trim off, then reinstall, caulk it, paint it, and you'll never even know. So that's just one more feature of why these are so great. Next up is the 10-inch self-prying bar. This tool was an absolute lifesaver. I ended up using it while removing 1,000 square feet of hardwood flooring and tile, and it really just did make a huge difference. So for the hardwood, I went ahead and made large perpendicular cuts across the floor, and then I was able to hammer this in from the side and kind of start prying up little by little. Once you get the first few pieces out of there, it does go a lot smoother. You just kind of hammer it under there, and again, due to its self-prying technology, it starts pulling it right up for you, making the job a ton easier. It has a nice sturdy steel construction, as well as 2 nail pullers and a hole for hanging it on the wall. Organization is great, but the nail pullers, if you've ever removed hardwood flooring, there are gonna be hundreds of nails left behind, and you get the great job of going around and pulling them all out. This one did great. I was able to pull a bunch in no time, and I have to say I really did like it. Again, I can't wait to see what else I'll use this for in the future, because there's just so many different things it can be applied to. I just happen to use it for removing hardwood. The last tool that we're going to be taking a look at in the Zenith by Danco lineup is their floor lifter. So just as the name implies, I used it to lift the tile flooring in our foyer. I like to go in there, hit it with a hammer a few times to start breaking it up, and then I could hammer the floor lifter under there, kind of shovel things away, and get that initial layer of tile up. It's another one of those tools that I really look forward to see how I will use it in the future, just because it's also advertised to help remove laminate countertops or linoleum flooring, and a whole other, anything you can pretty much think of, baseboards. It's another very multi-use tool, which is a great thing to think about if you were just going to pick one of them. There you guys have it. One thing I do want to bring up, this was a paid partnership, so they sent me the tools. And sometimes people will think that you're not being honest, but I do really genuinely love the tools. The only complaints about them I would have is that I wish this was bigger. It would have made removing the hardwood easier, as well as the nail grooves on both of their trim pullers and pry bars are not as sharp as I would like them to be. I feel like on a hammer they're a little bit pointier, so when you need to remove very small, fine trim nails, it can do that. This couldn't quite get that job done, but overall, still very happy with them. And I wish I would have just bought them sooner. So if you have any questions about these guys, go ahead, throw them down in the comments. You can find them in all your big and home improvement stores, including Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, and even on Amazon. So go check them out, Zenith by Danco. And I will see you guys next time.